Shalom. I'd like to start off by saying all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kadash. It's all praise to the world cause God and Jesus Christ. The true names in the Hebrew is Yahweh for the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai for his beloved Son. Also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, preaching this word in truth and sincerity. It's 2 Ezra 9:1. It says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt well understand that it is this very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world had a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powers and powerful works and endings and effect and signs. And every one that shall be saved shall be able to escape by his works and by the faith whereby they have lived.
U.S. is sending an aircraft carrier and Air Force bombers to the Middle East in response to a potential threat from Iran.
Israel and Gaza say they are ready to escalate their attacks.
Hey everybody, welcome to Alternative Media Television. I'm Chad Booksam. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Multiple breaking stories occurring right now. What were once whispers of war turned into screams, and now literal military action has taken place. We see Gaza firing hundreds of rockets into Israel, Israel firing back into Gaza. Huge bloody battle, a huge conflict that's going to escalate as time goes on. We see even a Russian air base in Syria has just been attacked. This is breaking news.
This is Matthew 24. In 6. Ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. This is Ezekiel 38. Because what you're seeing now is prophecy playing out. When prophecy starts to play out, you start seeing the coming of the Lord is near. This whole video is all going into biblical prophecy. Now, he said about the Russian air base in Syria or Iran was shelled today. Today's May 6th, 2019. So they were shelled today by dozens of rockets, and they repelled a bunch of them. And what is this going into? Right here, this is Ezekiel 38, and I'm gonna start at 1. It says, And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. The land of Gog is talking about Russia. You can look that up on a biblical map. It says, and say, Thus said Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaw, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, and all them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with buckler and shield, all of them handling swords. And that's talking about those hooks in his jaws is the military bombardments of these shellings, man, because that's going to cause a reaction.
Supposedly, they shot down a lot of the missiles, but rockets were launched at the Russian military air base in Syria. We also see a huge conflict coming with Iran, with U.S. warships sent to warn Iran, a message from John Bolton and the Donald Trump administration, basically giving warning signs that the Iranian government is going to shut down the Strait of Hormuz and really put a blockade on world oil supply. Now, a top Russian MP has warned that the escalation with the U.S. conflict in Iran is getting severe, and also an international member from BRICS. Now, here's a quote. It says, "We can't be idle. We must beat the alarm and take a stand against such behavior from Washington and all international organizations, especially in BRICS." So BRICS, again, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. This is a
big thing that you have to understand with the BRICS nations is that comes with money involved. When you have money deals, you have to protect that money. And that's what's going to happen. So this is going on again in Ezekiel 38. I'm going to start at 4 again. It says, "I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, and all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with buckler and shield, all of them handling swords. Persia," which the Persians are the Iranians, Ethiopia and Libya, and those African nations. What people don't know is there's a lot of military exercises and military, U.S. military over there in South Africa, which is part of the BRICS nations. That you have to understand there's a reason why they're there. It says, "All of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and his bands in the house of Togomar." And I believe Togomar is talking about Turkey. I believe so. It says, "Of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. And be thou prepared for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them." And that's when you get the BRICS nations. Russia is that military backbone for all the BRICS nations. They supply the armory, the weaponry. You see? This is Joel, chapter 3. And 9. "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up." Military, he just
member from BRICS. Now, here's a quote. It says, "We can't be idle. We must beat the alarm and take a stand against such behavior from Washington and all international organizations, especially in BRICS." So BRICS, again, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa.
All these countries were at one time just agricultural. Now, continue on Joel, 3rd chapter, 10th verse. It says, "Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I'm strong." And that's what's happening. Everybody's got their armor. Everybody's got their weapons now. And that's why I don't care about U.S. sanctions. That's why they don't care about U.S. Intervention in their land. That's why they're not playing the same old two-step anymore. Everybody's making moves. Verse 11, "Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh." You see? It says, "Let the heathen be weakened and come to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat." Now that word Jehoshaphat is Yahweh Shaphat in the Hebrew, which means the Lord's judgment. The valley of the Lord's judgment, which is going to be kind of like in the Persian Gulf area, kind of. It says, "For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about." And that's when that big war is going to happen between all these nations.
This is a new international order being formed, and we're seeing the field being played out for World War. This is exactly what's happening. This is similar to what happened before World War II. You had trade and economic wars. You had strife in all these countries. You had uprisings. Look at all over the world what's happening. You have uprisings in Italy, in France, I mean, France is literally burning down. In the United States, we're so divided. Look at Venezuela. They're in civil war. We have all these superpowers all over the place. The Middle East has been obliterated. Israel is conducting operations against Hamas. Obviously, Iran is funneling weapons. This is how they have these rockets, just so everybody knows, obviously, to fire in to Israel, and Israel is attacking back. You have Hezbollah to the north in Lebanon, which they fought multiple wars with Israel, so they're looking at that also. And of course, Israel is going to back up the United States of America when it comes to targeting Iranian troops in Syria and also the Iran government. So you have this huge world war episode playing out. And again, we have warships being sent supposedly as a message. And we already know John Bolton and Mike Pompeo, these are war hawks when it comes to Iran. This is one of the countries we wanted to take out for a very long time, and look, we pulled out of the Russian nuclear treaty. We pulled out of the Iranian treaty that Obama started, and we declared that their Revolutionary Guard is a terrorist group. These are huge steps that only is going to lead to one thing after we choke the heck out of them economically, which is what we're doing now, and that's going to lead to war. They also declared us a terrorist organization with U.S. military troops in the Middle East, now giving them even more of a reason to strike them. And again, this is why this is occurring. This is going to play out. This is going to escalate. World war is going to happen at any moment. And look, the media, they're still obsessed with these little domestic issues, but it's so easy to see. And whenever it happens, it's not a matter of when, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter about when this is really going to blow up and really going to get really bad. And everybody needs to be prepared. You see also warships going through the South China Sea with the China. Look, China is, that's it. They're done. They're done with it. So every time you see a U.S. warship kind of traveling through the Spratly Islands, which China is claiming as their own, China's had enough. They're building up. They have carriers now. Russia is they are very strong, and they are ready to take on the United States of America. Now, let me ask you, are we ready to take them on? Because this is what's going to happen. It's not just about Iran. That doesn't mean anything. It's not us against Iran. It's not us against Venezuela. It's us against all of them, their proxies, Russia, and China, and God knows what else amongst the sleeper cells that we have here in the United States of America.
This is Jeremiah 49. And 20. Therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh that he had taken against Edom, and his purpose that he had proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. And who are the Edomites? The Edomites are who the Lord calls the wicked in the book of Malachi, and who the Lord isn't going to have any mercy on. Who the Lord said he hates in the book of Hebrews and other chapters of the book. So he's proposing this against Edom, the Edomites today would be who you call so-called white people, the Caucasians. That he had proposed against the inhabitants of Teman, which is the chief city of Edom, the Edomites. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. And who's the least of the flock? It are the Amalekites, those so-called Jewish over there in the land of Israel. And how are they drawing them out, man? Because they're sitting there flaring their arms about on every nation that comes close to them, or on any nation who they want their goods, just like an Edomite would do, because it said that an Edomite had more than a heart could wish, and there is death and hell. Those Edomites over there in the land of Israel, the Amalekites, because that's their true biblical identity. They're drawing Big Satan out, America out, to have to fight. And this is biblical prophecy. And it says the same thing, and it clarifies it even more in the book of Jeremiah 50 and 45. It says, therefore, hear the counsel of Yahweh, he that had taken Salakia. It says, therefore, hear ye the counsel of Yahweh, that he had taken against Babylon, and his purpose that he had proposed against the land of the Chaldees. See, he's comparing Babylon to Edom, because this same verse says the exact same thing in the 49th chapter. The exact same thing. Because here is the land of confusion. You know, Babel, confusion, that's what the word means. It says, against the land of the Chaldees. And what were the Chaldees known for? Witchcraft. And just like America is known for witchcraft, you know? And people don't like to hear it, and people don't like to believe it, but this place conducts a lot of witchcraft, man. It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations. You see that? And this is what's getting ready to happen. You know, we're in the time, we've been in the time of the 10 toes splitting up, the beast is hating the whore. Those that gave power unto the beast to rule 1 hour with them are now angry with them, and everybody's fed up with the so-called white man's world. And it's all the scriptures, man. We are in a time of prophecy. We are in a time of the mark of the beast. We're in a time of great death, and persecution, pestilence, and plagues. We're in the time of World War III, man. It's beautiful. This is scripture speaking. Let's see if I get that real quick. This is Revelation. (8 and 13). It says, behold, it says, and I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, woe, woe, woe. Those woes represent wars, destruction. It says, and there's 3 of them, to the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the voice of the trumpet of the 3 angels, which are yet to sound. You know, verse Revelation 9 and 12, it says, one woe is past, and behold, there cometh 2 woes hereafter. You see, 1 woe is past. It's talking about World War I. The second one was past because that's talking about World War II. And the third woe is talking about World War III, and then that's what we're fastly approaching. You know, and I'm going to end it on this. Play this part over a little bit.
Strong, and they are ready to take on the United States of America. Now, let me ask you, are we ready to take them on? Because this is what's going to happen. It's not just about Iran. That doesn't mean anything. It's not us against Iran. It's not us against Venezuela. It's us against all of them, their proxies, Russia and China, and God knows what else amongst the sleeper cells that we have here in the United States of America. I mean, we've seen a leader of Hezbollah, one of their sleeper agents, was just arrested last year trying to conduct attacks in America and doing reconnaissance here in America. We have sleeper agents all over the place, you know, and we're in a very dangerous situation. It's not just about us attacking Iran. Obviously, it's about us going to war with Russia.
You see that? It says it's not the U.S. against a segment. It's a U.S. against all of them. It's a Habakkuk 2. I'm going to start at 5. It says, I'm going to start at 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer, when I am reproved. And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision, make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And the apostles and the elders have been beating the war drum, and you people that had no faith, didn't believe, and you never thought about it, so you pushed it to the side, and now it's coming, so it's not tarrying anymore. So you people are going to start to get terrified. Really thought that World War III wouldn't kick off because everybody had missiles. That's not an excuse, man. You don't make missiles for no reason. You don't grind a sword to slice vegetables, man. You grind a sword to slay. It says, verse 4, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. And who's the soul that's lifted up? Esau, Edom. He's going through the earth, killing, stealing, robbing, murdering, pillaging, subjugating. His soul is lifted up because he's been able to do all these things, but it's not upright. It says, he also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. And who's the one who's going through the earth? It has death tolls that he won't even report now on civilian lives. It says, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, saying, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, that thick clay is debt. That clay, that word clay there goes back to debt. And America is in massive debt. Massive debt. Verse 7, it says, you got to understand, it said in that verse 6 that all these are going to take up a parable. That's why everybody's coming against him. Now, in verse 7 is the kicker. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. And that's the time where we're coming in, man. All these nations are getting ready to hit America with something. And it's all going to be from the Lord, man. So, Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to say, call halal, Yahweh, Shem, Shai, Bashem, Rakar, Kodash, double honors to elders and apostles of great millstone, and peace and mercy to the whole elect. Abad Babal.